Hey everybody, welcome to the Suburban Stitcher podcast. My name is Diane and today is December 30th, 2015. This will definitely be my last recording of 2015. It's been a lovely year and I am going to get a quick episode out to y'all. Working today, the last day of the year, and then tomorrow, or my last work day of the year, and then tomorrow my husband and I are headed home to Louisiana, my home, and we're going to go pick up our boys or hang out for the weekend for New Year's and then head back. My boys are already there with my parents, enjoying some time with them over the holidays, and then we'll go spend a few days ourselves and then pick them back up. So, all right, I think this is episode 79. Not totally sure. So let's go ahead and get started. Announcements. The Rainbow Along is in full force, and by that I say the prep. Officially, the dates are February 1st through the 29th, but as you know, whips count, so that means anything that you want to start now that is a rainbow project that is not finished by the 1st of February, you can count. So start your projects now, start stashing now, and we have 3 great sponsors that are dyeing up yarn, O-Loops, Woolly Wonka, and Lone Star Arts. I showed their yarns last week and have everything linked in the show notes last week. I also have a thread on Ravelry in the Suburban Stitcher group. There's a thread that is titled Rainbow Along, chatter thread, and all of the information is there at the front. There's going to be a rainbow bag update on January 15th in my shop, the Suburban Stitcher shop. I think I named the time and I don't know it offhand, but it's in that thread as well. So all of the information is there in Ravelry. I think that's really it for announcements this week. Finished objects, I have none. Didn't finish anything this week. I just knit new things and loved it. And it was great. So, works in progress. I have 3. The first are my Rainbow Along socks. So this bag I actually made a couple of days ago. It is a purple background with a yellow polka dot, yellow zipper, and then of course my coordinating pull and D-ring. And this I made specifically for me to be able to bring to the LSU football bowl game last night, because of course I had to have a matching bag for knitting, like you do. So this was actually also my Christmas Eve cast on, and I started my O-Loops rainbow along yarn. So here is, I have knit 1 sock tube. I started with let's see if I can find their little tags. So this is O-Loops. The Stormy Skies colorway is this kind of dark bluey grayish purple that I used for the toe and for the cuff. And then this colorway, which hopefully you'll be able to see, has lots of little rainbow speckles all over. It's just so fun. It's like a blue sky with rainbow speckles, like a prism. So I love this. This colorway is called After the Storm, and it's just beautiful. And you also can see a little peek of one of my new stitch markers from Sucra Miniatures. It is not a little stitch marker. It is quite large, actually, but it's very light. I love it. It's a little cupcake. It was called, I think she called it the frozen cupcake, because it's light blue, and then it has the white icing with little glitter and an icy. I don't know that I will be able to get y'all to see this part, but it has a little bitty snowflake. I'm pretty sure these are sold out, but it's so cute. I cast these on for Christmas Eve, for the Christmas Eve cast on with little bobbins. And so I guess it was the 23rd maybe, and I knew I was going to be casting these on the next day. and I just had to get my yarn wound. But there was so much going on in the house, and my husband was on the computer, which is kind of where I normally kind of set up my ball winder, because mine does not stay set up all the time. And I thought, I'm just going to do a Nostipin, except for that I don't own a Nostipin, so I used a wooden spoon. So it created this little egg-shaped thing, and it's sort of coming unraveled. But you can see the holes still where that was the middle, and I just kind of rotated and wound my yarn as I did it. It is not pretty or fancy, but it is serviceable. You can see the colors. So it worked just fine. And it took me forever. I think it took me an hour to wind that yarn. But it was fine. I was watching TV and just relaxing. It wasn't really a big deal. The next ball of yarn, however, I did wind on my winder to keep it a little bit neater. And okay, so I showed you the first sock tube, and I have started the second one, and I'm probably not quite halfway done with the leg, or the whole tube. So as you can tell, I am knitting these cuff down. Why? Don't know, just because I wanted to start with the cuff. And so yeah, so it's going really well. I'm knitting these on 2.25 circular, 2.25 millimeter circular needles. That's a US 1. Yeah, I think that's it. It's really all I have to say about this bag, or this project. And this bag, as I said, I made it special for myself. I actually do have enough fabric to make one more. If there's somebody that is really interested in something that looks exactly like this, the lining, just in case you're curious, is sort of a, I don't know if you can tell, but it's like an architecture ledger, but it's got quilting type things on it, because it's like 2.5-inch strips and 6-inch strips, and then it's talking about like crosshatch, and I don't know, it's just a really neat sort of crafty with numbers lining. I just like it, and I like my linings when possible to be a light color, so I can see in the bag. So that's that. All right, the next work in progress is I started my gloves that I am using the silver spun yarn. This is yarn that I was sent to review, and I'm eking in this review at the end of the year. They certainly will not be finished before the end of the day tomorrow, as you'll see, but I do feel confident enough to give a review of this yarn. So this yarn is called Silver Spun from Feel Good Yarn Company. It is an 87% combed cotton, 5% silver, 5% nylon, and 3% spandex. This is their fingering weight. They have a sport weight and a fingering weight. So this skein had 400 yards in it. First impressions is it is very, very soft. It's a lovely yarn to work with, sort of surprisingly nice. I was very nervous about the cotton content, and also really just nervous about the cotton, because historically when I've knit with cotton, it's really hard on my hands, and I don't enjoy it because it ends up hurting my hands after a little while. This has enough spandex. I mean, you can see it's just like boing, stretches so much. It has enough spandex and nylon in it that you have that feeling of knitting with wool. So you don't get as much of you can't say you don't have zero hand strain compared to wool. I mean, there is a noticeable little amount of hand strain. For me, there was anyway. But it is not like knitting with most other cotton yarns that I've used. It's much nicer and much softer. The fabric that this thing is getting is absolutely amazing. I love the stitch definition. or really, I guess I should say lack of stitch definition. I love that it's creating a sort of a solid, just a nice, solid looking fabric. I loved the marled look to it. It's very, very soft. So I am knitting, I think they're called the Silver Linings mittens. It's actually a pattern that where you knit a mitten out of a fingering weight and then you knit like a glove that has a convertible flap to go over it. I may knit the glove outer part at some time, but for right now I'm just knitting the mittens. And I think that probably will be all that I need. Living in Texas, I mean, we just hit the 50s and 40s this week, so I don't see much use for having gloves or anything like that, big, thick, heavy gloves or mittens. So this is perfect, kind of the perfect solution for me living in Texas. I am knitting the largest size. I have a large, when you're measuring for gloves and anything that has to go over your wrist, this measurement around your knuckles is the important measurement because that's kind of what everything else is based off of. And this measurement right here for me is quite large. So because of that, I am knitting the largest size and it's fitting perfectly. I like the way that it feels and that it's fitting. I have started the thumb gusset increases. I'll turn that so you can see. You can sort of see the little triangle of gusset increases that are starting there. It's a very nice pattern. Yeah, I'm just really, I enjoy working with this. I think I'm going to bring this with me this weekend when I go on my little trip to work on. I really am enjoying this a lot. So I would recommend, the most exciting thing about this yarn, I didn't bring my phone over here, I was going to show you, is that it's conductive. So you can use your smartphone while you have these gloves on, which no other gloves really can do. So that's the other really exciting thing, is that you can wear gloves, but you can still maneuver on your smartphone. I tested it out because there's enough fabric in here. I just stuck my finger kind of in this fabric like this and then tried to unlock my phone with my finger and it worked. So really excited about that piece of this. So thank you to the Feel Good Yarn Company, also to Stitchcraft Marketing for sending me this yarn to work with. I'm definitely enjoying it and I do recommend it. It is a great alternative if you're like me, if you live in a cooler climate and maybe you don't need a full-on big wool glove or mitten, or if you want to make it as a liner for a convertible style mitten, as this pattern that I'm knitting calls for. It's really just a great solution either way. So I'm drinking some tea today. It is an Earl Grey, and I just had to show this to you. It just makes me so happy. I picked this up a couple of months ago with my mom at the quilt show that's in Houston every year. It's called Tea in Texas in this pretty tin. This was a company that I didn't know about, so I'm always excited to hear about new companies. But the Tea in Texas is their company name. They looks like they might operate out of Houston area, maybe, based on their phone number on this. But this is the Lady Bird Earl Grey blend, and if you're not familiar with Lady Bird Johnson, she was, just kicked the stand that my computer's on. She was a first lady who really is responsible for wildflowers in Texas. And she was, whenever everybody was kind of making fun of her for it, really at times, she was spending the time and the energy and the money in Texas to put wildflowers all along the streets and the just along the interstates. And even today, there's wildflower drives that you can take because of the decades of reseeding and the wildflowers here. It's just, I love that legacy, just to beautify Texas, to make our highways pretty, and it is. So Lady Bird Johnson, I love the Lady Bird Earl Grey. It's a very yummy tea, and I just love this little container. It's so pretty. And it keeps the tea nice and fresh. So that is what I'm enjoying today. My last work in progress is not a new project. It is something that I have pulled back out again, and I have to tell you the funny story why. I pulled out, oh, and this is in a, this project bag is from a homespun house that I purchased this year. It was a kit. This bag is from Michelle of Studio in the Green. And I love these little llamas. They just make me so happy. So I pulled out my Kama Sutra sock. I had knit a lot of sock tubes and not done anything else. So I knit this sometime this year. I started them at DFW, and that was at the end of March last year. So I knit this sock tube. This one's done. I think I finished this sock tube sometime over the summer. Haven't really touched these socks since. So I started the second sock tube, and I'm not quite halfway done, probably a third of the way. They will be exact matches. These are the OCD kits from Stacy of Mustache. You will notice that I am knitting these on DPNs, which is unusual for me. And this is the funny story. So I have this pair of signature needles. This is my only pair of signature DPNs. I love them. This is really the only kind of DPNs that I could ever imagine knitting socks with. I've tried other kinds, and they're either too heavy or don't work, and these just are amazing, which they should be. You pay for them, right? So I was knitting something the other day. Maybe it was that glove, and I was knitting it, and my husband was really noticing what I was knitting and what I was using to knit more specifically, and he never pays attention. I mean, he just, typical guy. I'm in the room knitting, and it's such a normal thing now that it's just not part of his normal, paying attention anymore, because I'm just always knitting. But he was really looking, and he was like, what kind of needle is this? And I said, well, it's a magic loop. It's a circular needle. And he was like, what is this thing on it? And he was pointing to I'll just pull these out. He was pointing to the cable. He was like, what is this thing you have here? And I was like, well, it's the cable. He was like, well, what is that? And I said, well, it's that so you can knit in a circle. He was like for socks too? And I said, yeah, this is how I knit all my socks, on needles like this. And he was like, oh, okay. I said, why? And he goes, I thought you had to knit them on the little sticks. Well, you can, so I'm telling him there's lots of different ways, but my preferred method is to knit on a circular needle using what's called the magic loop. I said the other ones are just, they're a little more fiddly for me, and I can do it, but it's not my preferred method. And going on and on and on about that. And he was like, oh, and you could tell he was getting really sad. And I said, well, what's going on? He was like, well, I don't know. He was like, I just had somebody tell me that if someone is a sock knitter, then a really good Christmas gift for them would be some little stick needles so that they could have some needles for knitting socks. And apparently that's not right. So, long story short, I felt really bad about that because I thought, oh my gosh, he has asked people. He's done research. And I don't know who he's asked, but anyway, so he knows that I knit socks and apparently wanted to get me something to use for sock knitting, and he was told to get these kind, DPNs. And bless his little pea picking heart, whatever he ordered, it hasn't come in yet. So I still don't have my gift, and I know that it's DPNs because he was like, so I mean, if somebody got you that, like, would you use them? Like, hypothetically. So I know that I have some sort of double pointed needles coming to me for Christmas. Because he told me basically, but I don't know what kind. I don't know from where. He would not tell me where he ordered them from. Because I was like, well, you can just return them. If you're worried about it, don't do it. So anyway, we'll see when they come in. I kind of feel sorry for him. He was so excited about having done research and everything, and they're not here yet. Bless him. But whenever I do get my Christmas present of double pointed needles, I will show you. So all of that to say, it motivated me to start the second one on these needles because there really is no reason that I don't use double pointed needles. The more I've used these over the last week or so, I really enjoy them. And granted, I just enjoy knitting with these needles, so I will have to learn to love whichever kinds of needles he gets me because he's worked so hard on that gift. I just have to use them. So that is my last work in progress. Excuse me. Okay. So Hello Lovelies is kind of a crazy extravaganza this week. I have a lot of things to show you. It's just between Christmas and lots of things. So, Hello Lovelies. I'm going to start with a few of my Christmas gifts first. I got, and I was holding it a minute ago, and now I can't find it. Where'd it go? Oh no. Where did I? Oh, here it is. Okay. I was sitting on it. My brother-in-law is a woodworker, and he makes beautiful things. He made me a quilt rack for my house. He's just made so many things. He made and turned the wood for this pen and gave these as gifts to our family this year. So I love it. It's cherry wood with a silver pin. It's beautiful. It turns so smoothly and it writes beautifully. I love the feel of it. I just love everything about it. I love that you can see the wood grain in some of the parts. It's just a beautiful, right there. Yeah, love that. I love this. Absolutely love it. So this was one of my Christmas gifts. And anytime you are a maker and you get something that someone made, it's extra special. So that leads me into my next gift. My mother stitched me this, the shearing shop. And I love it. It's so me, perfectly me. I don't know who the design is by, but it has the little established 1901 little sheepies at the bottom with the little black sheep, because I'm sure that one's me. And then she finished it as a stand-up so that I can display it in my sewing room. I can just set it up on a table, hand did the cording, and kind of attached it up here. I love it. It's such a unique finishing technique. I'm really happy with it. So thank you, Mom. I know you watch. I love it. Thank you so much. Okay. Yesterday, my husband and I had to go to a funeral for the parent of a friend that he grew up with. And, it's kind of the people that you've known since you were little, and the mom died, and was kind of one of my husband's second moms. So we were at her funeral, and on the way back, we stopped at one of my local yarn stores, and we were just looking around. She had an end of the year sale, what are you to do? You got to get some yarn. And we're looking at this yarn, and I was like, oh, this is kind of pretty. My husband picks this up. It's blues and oranges and a little bit of red, maybe a little bit of gray, crazy Zauberball. And he was like, oh my gosh, you need to make these for Nicholas, my son, because his baseball team is blue and orange. He was like, you need to get this. Well, he's telling me to buy yarn. He's like, well, you need to make a pair for Nicholas and a pair for his friend, which really, I won't make a pair for his friend. I'll make a pair for him so that he and my son will have matching socks. But so 2 crazy Zauberballs. They're the exact same colorway. I got them at 20% off on sale. And my husband bought them for me. Told me to get them. Can't say no. I had some really lovely things come in the mail. I mentioned, where did it go? So many things. Oh, is it over here? Or did I leave it? Oh, no, I can feel it right here. I mentioned that I ordered a couple of things from Sucre Miniatures. And I ordered, so you saw the frozen cupcake. I ordered a pink cupcake charm. It's got a cherry and some sprinkles on the top. And then I ordered the Christmas charm for this year. Christmas cupcake. I think I'm going to collect her cupcakes. I really like them. This one has the red paper chocolate cupcake with a kind of a swirl frosting and then a little Santa hat on top. I don't know if my hand's going to hold that still enough. A little Santa hat. Super cute. Yep, super duper cute. That's a Santa hat, if you can't tell, on the very top. So that was exciting. I love these, and I definitely think I might collect her cupcakes because they're super cute. I was successful in an instant gratification update for the first time ever for Plucky. Not only was I successful, I got my pick of colors. This colorway is called Decorum Dictates. It's a lovely lavender mauve color. It's on the snug worsted base, which is a 70% merino, 20% cashmere, and 10% alpaca. Very soft. This will be a hat for sure. Probably out of that tea collection by Claire Divine, which is so lovely and so many people have reviewed it lately. So this was exciting. I got and all of these came in, okay, so those last couple of things that I've showed you, the stitch markers, the Plucky, and then this skein of yarn, all came in on, like, I guess the Monday before Christmas. That's what prompted, I told my husband, I said, I've ordered these things. You know, I know we said we're not doing really anything for Christmas for each other because we had decided to do something else, and we went to the LSU game. We bought LSU tickets to that game last night, and that was like, that's our Christmas present. Because we got good tickets, and it was more than we would certainly usually ever spend on a sporting event to go see. And so I said, you know, here's these packages. I've bought them. I know what they are, but I haven't seen them, so it's going to be a surprise when I open it up. If you want to wrap them up and, you know, give them to me, quote unquote, for Christmas, I said, I'm fine with that. And he was like, no, I got you covered. Got you covered. And then later in the day, he was all of a sudden looking at my needles. So this was the Hedgehog fibers that I ordered directly from Hedgehog. This is on the skinny singles base. This was one of her newer colorways. It's called Film Noir. I believe that right now it is only available on her website. I love the background kind of gray color with the pinks and golds and browns and blacks. And there's like this orangey color. It's just so pretty. It will make a beautiful shawl. I think it's a little bit less than 300 or 400 yards. So, or maybe it's right at 400 yards. 366 meters. So whatever that works out to in yards. I want to say it's about 380 yards, but I could be wrong. So this one is super pretty. Love it. And the singles almost feel like there's a silk blend in it, and they're so drapey. So it's just going to be a beautiful, you can see that. It's going to be a gorgeous shawl of some sort. Very drapey. I was totally enabled by Yarn Junkie on Instagram. She was making these gorgeous socks, and I said, oh my gosh, where did you get that yarn? I love it. Because it was a red and green and like gray speckled yarn. And she told me where, and I had to get it. And even best, it was on sale by the time I went to order it, because I ordered it not that long before Christmas. This is Madeline Tosh, as you can see, on the 80-10-10 fingering base. This was through their shop, so it's an 8 merino cashmere nylon fingering weight in the mistletoe colorway. So this will make a great pair of socks for next year. I got a Desert Vista Dye Works order in. This was with doing the club, you get, so like every quarter, you get a new, kind of a new perk, a new thing. And this was 20% or 30% off in her shop because I had participated. I had made all 3 months in that quarter. I think this was for the third quarter of the year. And so I got a 30% off coupon for her shop. Well, I didn't use it right away. I saved it until kind of the end of November, beginning of December, and I was able to get some really lovely things. So I got, none of these are zombie yarns. I just want to pause for a minute there. None of them are. This one is called Eau Clark, and I just, every time I've seen this knit up, I love it, and it's because it has that speckled stripe in it. So this is Eau Clark, like the Griswolds. I got a skein of Glee. This is an 8-stripe, almost like a pastel rainbow, really is what it looks like, which is very exciting. I don't know if this is still in the shop, but if it is, this would be a perfect skein for the knit along that we're doing in February. I got a skein of On Wednesdays because it is a pink gradient with gray, and why wouldn't I? Because on Wednesdays we wear pink. I just realized I didn't do this on purpose, but I am. I'm wearing pink on Wednesday. I think I need to make a concerted effort to do this all the time now. And then I got a skein of Ever in Your Favor. This one is a 6-stripe skein and 2 stripes for each book cover. So if you look, I don't remember them offhand and which goes with which, but if you know the book covers, there are 2 stripes for each of the books. So that is exciting. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to do the club this year. I mean, why not? I have the yarn. Why not? I'll just try. I don't know, because I have so many other things I need to knit too, but I love knitting my Desert Vista Dye Works socks, and I have all this yarn, so why not? The last thing that came in the mail, so excited about this, y'all, you have no idea, is my yarn for my knit along that I'm starting tomorrow. My camera just freaked out. This is yarn for the knit along I'm starting tomorrow with Cindy, my friend. She is Knitting Mom 65, I think, on Instagram. This is an informal knit along. We've decided to knit the Three Sisters shawl. And Anne of Anne of Woolly Wonka Fibers sent me the yarn to knit it. Thank you so much, Anne. I'm completely in love with this. I kind of told her what I wanted, and then from her existing colors, it was very obvious that I needed to pick this gorgeous gray. That, to be honest with you, I have passed up getting this exact color at every single show I've ever been to where she has vended, and I knew this was my chance to get it because it always sells out at shows, and I never, ever, ever get it. It's the gorgeous gray called Soot, and this is on her Nimue, could be butchering that word, Nimue sock, which is a 50% silk, 50% superwash merino yarn. So I have 3 skeins because that shawl is a beast. It is a 3 skein shawl. It is probably one of the largest things that once I finish it, that I've ever knit. The Carrie shawl is up there. But this one will be, I think, even bigger than that one. For sure. So just love this. It's so shiny and beautiful. So thank you so much, Anne. I am thrilled beyond words to be able to start this tomorrow. Cannot wait. I need to cake this up and get my book out. So I want to make a working copy of my pattern, and that is going to be my cast on for tomorrow, for my Christmas Eve cast on. I got just an amazing Christmas gift for my kiddos. I got a little skein kit. Oh my gosh, I can smell the soap from in here. It smells so good. This is the Charlotte's Web kit. As you can see, I knew that this was coming for my kids, so I got to pick out what I wanted. But, because you have to order it well in advance. But I chose, the last kit I got from her, I got the drawstring bag, and this one I wanted her zippered bag. This one is zippered with because you can choose all the different linings and everything. It's with like a padded interfacing. That's the word I'm looking for. So this is the outside. Just love it. My kids were so excited about giving this to me too because they've been reading Charlotte's Web in school. So they've just seen the play as well. So they were really excited to give this to me because it made sense to them. It was something that they could relate to. That's the lining that I chose, the little red poppies. I also added on this because I just love these. And I added on this little guy. It's a first place ribbon, stitch marker, progress keeper, zipper pull thing right there. So you get a card that says "You are terrific." I think these were all different. Mine says "You are terrific." You get the copy of the shawl, which is the Salutations shawl, I believe. The yarn is from Sunshine Yarns, and the 2 colorways that I got this kind of navy blue, slate blue color in this silvery gray. This one's called Charlotte, and I don't know where the tag is for this one. It's gone rogue, but I don't know the gray color, but I've got the gray and the blue. I purchased, it comes with this. This is a Tuft Woolens Wilbur's Famous Buttermilk Bath, which is yummy. Yeah, it's got olive, coconut oil. I mean, it just smells amazing. It almost smells like lavender too. Must have some lavender in there. And then the stitch markers that I got. Oh, here's the other color, Spiderweb. So Sunshine Yarns. And I got the spiderweb colorway was that light gray one. And this is an MCN, 80% merino, 10% cashmere, 10% nylon. And the stitch markers that I got with it are, I got the little Wilbur with the little coordinating. I think these are pinks and purples. Very, very cute. I love her kits. They're just so fun. And this was really, really exciting to receive. My kids loved giving it to me. That was the best part, is they absolutely loved it because it meant something to them, and it was exciting, and they loved it. So sort of conspired with my husband for them to get that for me for Christmas. The last little Hello Lovely that I'm excited about, before I get into the last piece of this show that's already forever long, is so my holiday party with Chick-fil-A, where I work, we do door prizes and different things, and I walked away with some pretty sizable amount of gift cards to Target. So I had this, Target money that I had received for Christmas as a gift, and went in the other day. My son was looking for a game. He was looking to spend some of his Christmas money, and I saw that some of my Legos that I have been wanting were on sale. So I got the Lego Swap Police. Y'all, my little Louisiana Lego loving heart is so excited about this. Ooh, I'm just so excited. I love the Swamp Police series. It cracks me up. I just love it. Yeah. You get to make a toilet. Any Lego set where you get to make a toilet in a jail cell, it's pretty awesome. So, so I'm excited about that. Okay. I do want to do a wrap up of kind of my goals for 2015 and go over my 2016 goals. So 2015 goals. Goal number 1, finish at least 1 pair of socks per month. Well, I did that. Just alone in the Desert Vista Dye Works thing, I knit actually total 21 socks, 21 pairs of socks this year. And I might, depending on if I can finish that rainbow one by the end of the day tomorrow, it may be 22 pairs. Probably 21, but maybe 22. So either way, I did great with that. Spend 2 pounds. No, I probably didn't even spend 6 ounces this year, which is criminal. Ugh, I need to spend more this year. Knit 15,000 yards. No, I knit probably closer to 12,000, which is great. I'm still very pleased with that. And I knit more than that. That's just finished objects. If you think of all of the things that I've started and not finished, it's way more than that. Knit 2 sweaters. I didn't knit any. I didn't knit any sweaters. I ripped out 2 sweaters this year, but didn't knit any, finish any. And then stash down. I wrote on here, no new purchases until DFW, which was the end of March. And then incoming stash yardage can only equal 1/2 of what is outgoing. That's a no, 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 no. None of that happened. So, I only did one thing, which was finish 1 pair of socks per month. Everything else I didn't do. Okay, so moving on to 2016 goals. Knit 24 pair of socks. I really, really want to do this year. Knit 24 pairs of socks. Must include at least 1 pair for Josh and the boys. So at least 3 pairs have to be for them. 1 for each of them. And I have new yarn to do that with. So that is the first thing. Oh, the other part, kind of my little caveats on there, I must include some variegated yarn because I have so much of that. I have to knit some variegated socks again this year. And then it also must include some patterned socks. So I can't just knit everything vanilla. I knit so few patterned socks this year that I really need to do that. Number 2, use hand spun. Got some lovely hand spun that I finished. I don't have a lot, but I have some. I really need to use it. So that's a goal this year. Number 3, use 16 oldest skeins. This was something that I had seen from another podcast. I think Bookish Stitcher did 15 oldest skeins and 15 or something like that. This is a goal for me. I'm going to make it sort of official because I can use those oldest skeins in with my other goals, as you'll see, kind of as the year goes on. But I have 16 oldest skeins that I've written them out here, and maybe someday I'll like take a picture of all of them. But I need to use these. I need to use them this year, or I need to get rid of them. So that's kind of my goal, is if by the end of the year, if I haven't used these, then they need to be sold, or they need to be traded or gifted. Because somebody needs to use them and love them. Okay, so goal number 4, cross stitch more. And that actually feeds into one thing that I didn't show you in Hello Lovelies, is I got the fabric for the new 2016 Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery year-long sampler. So I have the pattern, I have the fabric. I just need to collect my floss, which I'm sure I have in stash, and then I'm set. I think that starts January 15th, so that'll be good. Number 5, finish one lace and beaded shawl, which should be, that's very doable. Number 6, knit one sweater. I am going to knit a sweater. I will. I have some new yarn that I ordered this week with Christmas money from the Miss Babs sale. I have one epic sweater that I really want to knit this year, so we'll talk about that in a minute. So knit one sweater, and then goal number 7, stop worrying about the number of whips and stash that you have. I'm just not going to worry about it anymore. If I have 40 things on the needles, great, it makes me happy. If I'm buying new yarn every week, great, it makes me happy. I'm just not going to set goals about trying to eliminate things that make me happy. That's it. Okay, so some specifics that I really want to accomplish based on yarn and patterns and things like that that feed into my goals. Okay, so this year I really want to knit a Reiki hat out of my District 12 DK yarn. I've got that yarn a couple of years ago for this hat. I haven't knit it. It's a hat. There's no reason I haven't knit it yet. I just need to knit it. I want to knit the Thistledown shawl by Boo Knits. It's a gorgeous, triangular, beautiful, just beautiful shawl. 2 skeins of fingering weight yarn. I would need to knit it. Same with this one, the Your Beautiful shawl by Melanie Berg. I have this amazing 2 skeins that I purchased for this shawl of the Cyborgs Craft Room in a rainbow speckled. Maybe I'll cast it on for the rainbow along. But it's a gorgeous rainbow speckled yarn that I bought for this shawl, and I really want to use it. So I need to knit that shawl this year. Paris Toujours is a huge DK weight, big, cozy wraparound shawl. Paris Toujours by Isabel Kramer. I have some yarn that I bought last year for a sweater. Didn't make it into a sweater. It won't make it into a sweater because realistically, the kind of sweater that yarn amount would just be too small and look weird on me. So needs to be repurposed, and this is a big, huge shawl that I would love to own. The Layla shawl by Denise Bell of Lost City Knits. That is a goal of mine. I want to knit the Layla shawl. I have a lot of lace weight on my oldest skeins list that I need to use. I think 3 or 4 of these out of the 16 are lace weight, so need to get knitting some lace. So and it's beaded. No, it's not beaded, but it's got noops and lots of Estonian things in it. It's gorgeous. Find the perfect red for a shawl to wear at Christmas. I need the perfect red. I need a Christmas red. So once I find that yarn, I'm going to get it, and I need to make myself a shawl, a red shawl to wear at Christmas. I've wanted that for several years now. It hasn't happened. It needs to happen. And then my last goal is I really, really love the Authentic collection by Joji Locatelli. It's amazing. I absolutely love it. I want to knit my way through this collection. I have yarn already pulled for the 2 hats that are in the collection. I purchased for 2 projects the Citadel sweater, so that's on my list. That is the sweater that I will make this year. It's a big, huge sweater coat. I will make that sweater this year. I purchased some yarn for that already, and then I also purchased yarn for that Southern Spirit wrap shawl. It's a like chevron, big chevron wrap, so I have that coming as well. So that's 4 that are already planned, not including some of the other shawls and things that I can pull from stash. So those are my goals for this year. I would love to hear if you make goals, if you have goals, what you would like to do. I'd be interested. Love to see and hear what you're going to do this year. So I think that's it. Y'all have a great day and a great end of 2015. And I will see you in the new year. Thank you so much. Bye, guys.